Hello everyone, welcome back to another book review. Today I'm actually going to be reviewing a comic. This is Doctor Aphra. This is in the Star Wars universe, and this was a comic that was recommended to me, so I decided to go ahead and grab the first volume out of my library and give it a read. So first of all, I hope I'm saying the name right, Doctor Aphra. This was described to me before I read it as Indiana Jones, but Star Wars. And that kind of holds true. So the premise of this story is that Dr. Aphra is an archaeologist in Star Wars. Or the Star Wars universe, I should say. And she goes and finds artifacts and then sells them for money. She is going back from a usual dig of some sort, although it's kind of clear that her digs rarely go as planned. They're rather adventure-filled. They're not just brushing away dust from pottery shards. No shade to the archaeologist. When I was younger, I wanted to be an archaeologist. So yeah, she's returning to sell the parts back, and she learns that her credentials as a doctor have been rescinded. And that is because it turns out her father has shed some light or leaked some information that might suggest that her doctoral thesis or PhD thesis was not accurate. She cheated on it, so the credentials have been revoked until people figure out whether or not she did her thesis right. And her father only did that because her father wants her to accompany him on a journey for kind of his lifelong passion. It turns out that her childhood was kind of rough because her father was a little too devoted to understanding this very, very ancient group of people, which I noted the page to make sure I get it correct. They are the Ordo Aspectu. The Ordo Aspectu are a group of people who were Jedi, but not mainstream Jedi, or as they call them here, Orthodox Jedi. They were obsessed, perhaps you could say, with finding eternal life. And Dr. Aphra's father is obsessed with finding their remains or where they went after some legendary battle, and he, by revoking Dr. Aphra's credentials and therefore kind of effectively rendering her unable to earn money in her field, has tricked her into going on this adventure with her. This book has everything I wanted in a Star Wars comic. We have Dr. Aphra, of course, who the characterization of Indiana Jones, but in Star Wars, felt very, very accurate. She's an adventure-filled, play fast and loose archaeologist. We have, I don't really know if it's a sidekick because it kind of it's implied that there's some sort of money owed relationship between these two, with a Wookiee whose name is, I'm gonna butcher this, Krrsantan. Yeah, I looked up online and it turns out, I don't know if anyone really knows how to say this. There's a lot of R's. He's a Wookiee. He is a very deadly and effective Wookiee. There's some sort of owed money relationship between the two, but they kind of operate as a team when it suits Krrsantan. And we also have two droids. This is 000, and this is, I believe, BT down here. 000 is a torture droid, and BT is some sort of other murderous droid. So between this little murderous clan and less murderous but still action-packed adventure-y individual, we have our little crew, which heads off on this adventure to track down the, Ordo Aspectu. I always want to make sure I'm saying this right. Ordo Aspectu. I, as I said before, really, really enjoyed this work. The main person who wrote this, it looks like, was Kieron Gillen, but obviously with any of these comics, there's also a lot of artists. So like we have here Kev Walker, Marc Deering, Antonio Fabela, Salvador, Larroca, Edgar, Delgado. We have cover art, it says, by Kamame Shirahama, excuse me. So obviously these, with comics, there tends to be a lot more, well, I don't want to say more because I don't want to imply that books are somehow less, but there's a lot of also artistic work that goes into this that maybe necessarily not the same kind of creative or artistic work that goes into just regular books, print books like this. So I really want to recognize the artists in this, who I think did a really, really good job. I really enjoyed the art in this comics. Thought it was really, really good. I thought the story was well paced. It was very interesting. I was captivated the whole time. I read it in one sitting. Very, very interesting. And I will definitely be getting volume 2 of Dr. Aphra because I want to see what other adventures she gets up to. So if you are looking for another Star Wars comic to read. I really, really recommend this series. I have to admit, I don't keep track of this stuff. I don't know if she's canon under the new canon, but I don't really care. It's a good read either way, and I really recommend it. So if you're looking for another Star Wars comic and you haven't gotten around to this series, I really recommend. I will be getting volume 2 as soon as someone returns it to the public library. And other than that, yeah, what did you guys think of this series? Did you guys enjoy it the same way I do? Do you think that Indiana Jones but in Star Wars is not a good classification or description? Do you think it is a good description? What did you think about it? I'm interested and curious to hear your thoughts on this book. Other than that, I'm going to let you go. Have a good day, everyone.